Last week, we talked about the Oracle Elianastis. We talked about how the All-Taker pulled her from the realm of true spirit. He didn't make her, he tethered her. To be a child of the All-Taker isn't just to be an aspect of his being, it's to represent an ideal. And some of his ideals predate him. In fact, today, we're going to meet one of the All-Taker's children that is even older than death. This is the School of the Dead, and I am your host and teacher for the day, Andrew Seco. I am super excited about this episode, and as always, all supplementary notes, materials, packages, I will link them all so you know where you can find everything. But our primary textbook will be The Chronicle of the Underworld. So let's continue meeting the All-Taker's children. Let's meet the Traitor Angel, Exraile. Okay, so heaven and hell are not always at war. They are always at war, but they're not always warring, if that makes sense. It's not like they spend every waking moment fighting. And while I'm not intending to go into the gory details of every single aspect of an angel's daily routine, I will tell you that there are rare occasions when something other than hatred and rage burns in their blackened hearts. The angel Exraile had found love, a true love, and a love he would do anything for. A love he gave everything for. There are a few mourners that know about his love and what tragic ending it had. Those that are clever enough not to discuss it are still around to tell you not to discuss it. But Exraile's love was complicated. When his love crossed the powers of heaven, he moved with no thought of his own safety to protect his heart's desire. That didn't please the heavenly host. And so the angels tossed Exraile into the fiery pits of hell to suffer alone. But Exraile survived. No, more than that, Exraile rose in the ranks of hell. He became one of the demon's most vicious and fearsome warriors. At one point, there was no corner of heaven or hell that Exraile did not know. But for some unknown reason, he left. He came to the underworld, a treacherous journey through the Vale of Dreams. He pledged himself to the rebellion, and there are few who serve so well. Naturally, there are some mourners who question if an angel would ever truly switch sides. They question his loyalty. And there's good reason to be afraid of angels, even better reason to be afraid of Exraile. But those who question Exraile's loyalty should truly be fearing the All-Taker's wrath. It has been made clear that questioning Exraile's commitment to the underworld is akin to questioning the All-Taker's wisdom, something you would be prudent not to do. Exraile has been given a really high position within the court, not just as one of the All-Taker's children, but also as a high-ranking member of the faction of Flesh. He and Gethsemane are very close, and she trusts him with the most secretive of missions. In fact, Exraile is the recruiter for an elite group of covert agents called the Conclave of Shadows. The Conclave is comprised entirely of members of the faction of Flesh, people who are more than willing to adapt to any situation. But not just the situation. Their appearances, their mannerisms. They operate and infiltrate missions from the celestial realm to the mortal realm. Only the most loyal and capable and deadly members of the faction of Flesh are even considered for membership. As for the Conclave of Shadows, to put it simply, they're like super deadly spy mercenaries of your worst nightmares. Their work is extremely secretive, so there's not much I can say. What I can say is that they report all their missions back to Queen Gethsemane herself. What she does with that information, nobody knows. They are called the Severed Shadow, and no one sees them coming. With a few words to Queen Gethsemane, Exraile takes off on a hunt for a terrible leader of the Severed Shadow, a group of subversive underworld zealots. If you want a taste of some of Exraile's personal work, I suggest you read the graphic novel Shadows of the Underworld. You'll get a much better understanding of Exraile and his talents. You'll understand how hard he's working for the Underworld, the Queen, the All-Taker, he'll understand that he'll do whatever it takes to rise, conquer, and rule. And that is the recruiter of the Conclave of Shadows, the Traitor Angel, Exraile. So as someone who is older than all of the Underworld, he's got a lot of history that's pretty hard to cover and frankly, pretty undocumented. So I know you guys have questions. I will do my very best to answer them. And of course, we're gonna quiz you later in the week. But for right now, I've got a question for you. As a part of the Conclave of Shadows, you have to be ready for any situation at any moment. You have to be able to blend in at any time. You have to be able to take on new identities. So what would your identity be as a mourner? That's right, I'm asking you to tell me your mourner name. I'm really excited to hear those. Okay, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of School of the Dead. Tune in next week to learn more about the All-Taker's children and to meet the Eater of the Dead, Cleopsis. Now go, mortals. Rise, conquer, rule!
Hey, did you like that video? Be sure to subscribe by clicking the S icon on your screen and click that bell icon to be notified whenever a new video is posted. If you'd like more info on the items featured in this video, click the link provided under Product Info. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to let your geek side show.